grade 11, we're going to do interest capitalized today. So I want you to follow in your textbook with me. I'm just going to show you in the textbook. I'm not going to do the same procedure as yesterday because we don't need to do this. It's really very simple work. Okay, so we're going to work on page 210, interest capitalized. What does it mean? Now, in the past, when we received interest on, for instance, a fixed deposit, we used to debit our bank and we credited interest on fixed deposit. That's how we did it last year, but it doesn't really work like that in practice. How does it work in practice? The interest is added to the fixed deposit. Don't you agree? Okay, so on the first 2 pages, they just explain interest and a long thing about compound interest. Don't worry about that. We're not going to do compound interest. That's not in our curriculum. We just work with a simple interest where you work with your main amount times your interest rate times the time. So just the same you did it last year. Okay, so let's look at the example. On 1 March, Joanne's Boutique invested 3,000 Rand in a fixed deposit account for 4 years. Okay, so how do we do this? In the cash payments journal, we take out 3,000 Rand out of our bank into a fixed deposit for AB Bank. Okay, so that's not new to you. And then interest must be capitalized and calculated at 12% compound interest. Okay, compound interest, well, that's a simple interest. That must not be compound. That's simple. Plain and simple interest. Okay. Where you work with your main amount times your rate times the time. The same way you did it last year. Okay. So when we capitalize that interest, that means we don't receive a check from AB Bank and get the interest in our bank account. That interest is just added to the fixed deposit. So what happens? The fixed deposit increases, so it's debited, and we do this in the general journal. And interest on fixed deposit, just like in the past, is credited with 360 Rand. So there's my fixed deposit. It increases by 360 Rand, the interest. So my fixed deposit now stands on 3360. My nominal account, my interest on fixed deposit is credited with fixed deposit, 360 Rand, and it's closed off to the profit and loss at the end of the year. And how does it work? The accounting equation, that one you know, that we did it last year when we make a fixed deposit somewhere at some other bank. And this is where we get the interest. In the past, bank increased, but now it's capitalized, so your fixed deposit increases. And your owner's equity also increases, 360 Rand, that's interest on fixed deposit. So gentlemen, it's really, really easy. At the end of next year, now, my fixed deposit now stands on 3360. So for the next financial year, 12% on that is 403 Rand 20. So at the end of next year, it will be 3763 Rand 20. So go over this in your textbook. It's really easy stuff. And we will do the interest capitalized on interest on loans. We will do that tomorrow.